What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Ollie. I'm 30 years of age and I'm from Sandy Bay, Hobart, Tasmania. I'd like to think either Adam Schneider or Jack Higgins. On my day, I would definitely compare myself to those two. I guess my strengths would be I'm pretty quick for someone with one ACL. Very much since I've been playing, it's about breaking that stigma of needing two ACLs. Got a long football background, 2 games with the Adelaide Uni Blacks, but I'd say the majority of that time was spent on the stage at the Derwent Entertainment Centre for the Southern Tasmanian Dancers Stephens. I guess I've been waiting for a moment like this, knowing my time would come, and this game couldn't have come at a better time. What team would I want to play for? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Tasmanians mainly side with Victoria or the All-Stars. I'd very much leave that down to them and trust their judgment on which team would like me more.
Thank you, Ollie. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
And welcome back to Danda's Footy on this beautiful Thursday. Thank you for joining us and doing football with us as always and allowing us to sit here and talk some absolute garbage about the game that we love and hopefully you love too. We are joined by, as always, the guy with one ACL. Doing some things. Big day for you today, my friend. Primetime football.
It is.
This is big. MC job, you back?
Not the MCG, back under the roof.
Yeah, but so it's your home game, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
Okay, what have we got prepped for all 25 people?
No, well, there'll be a bit more than that, obviously, with the free tickets. Look, all I'm going to say is, got the message from old Tom today from the club. He said, full run sheet.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to say.
What does that normally mean? Does that mean that is that like because there's lots of people there, or is it...
Well, it's just
more like a...
What I would say is normally if he ever says, hey, we've got a full run sheet,
yep,
that's always been when it's like Spud's game or something like that. But there's nothing like that on, which says to me...
You might have sold this bitch out.
We've got some serious activations.
So we might have 35,000 in the house.
Yep.
Under the dome. Prime time. Thursday Night Lights.
Yep.
Have you been on prime time a lot this year?
I would imagine.
Geelong?
No, I think we've had a few. I can only really remember
Spuds.
one Sunday game, to be totally honest. This is just home games. I reckon Richmond was a night game.
Okay.
I think that might have been a Saturday night. We've had definitely the Geelong game and Spud's game.
Well, big.
And I think we've only had about 5 home games. So
Well done. Big. This is big for you guys. Showing everyone what you got on the main stage. This is really, really big because normally you're not there, but you get to say to everyone, hey, we're a very good football team. We deserve to be in prime time.
Aside from the fact that it is a big game, 2 big Melbourne teams that love the roof and all the rest of it, is Thursday night considered prime time? Like, is it, if it's just you on your own at night, that's prime time?
Yeah, Thursday's prime time.
Okay.
Thursday's prime time, Friday's prime time, and Saturday night's prime time, and then everything else is not in prime.
Okay, sure.
No, even Monday, so King's birthday during the week.
Didn't feel prime.
I wouldn't consider that prime time. That's just Monday night football.
Yes.
So, but you are in the prime time slot. No, Matt Hill. Matt Hill's in America doing the Melbourne Cup stuff. Remember when I said, has he gone missing?
Oh.
The Melbourne Cup goes on tour before it gets here to Australia. So it's currently at Old Mates, Annie Lee's bar in New York. So he's there, suited up, just... Don't know what he's doing really, but he's presenting the cup around there and just making sure it gets from Old Mates in America to Melbourne. I didn't know the Melbourne Cup goes on a tour.
I had no idea.
I had no idea. Didn't know it was like the Olympic torch.
Yeah.
Which is definitely, I don't know if that started as well. When is the Olympics?
We've got the next one, 2028 in LA.
Okay. Well, probably lead into this then. Speaking of the Olympics, NFL.
Yeah.
They're getting, what is flag football?
Flag football.
Seems illegal.
Well, it's more so that the big announcement in the last couple of weeks is that not only is it going to be in it, but NFL players are eligible for it.
Unfair.
So if it was just whoever the national team is right now of America, maybe that feels a bit equal because that would be the equivalent of just, decent kind of park footballers here in Australia. But now we're going to have Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Lamar
just going nuts out there. That's not fair. Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
That seems a little unfair because I think the rest of the world, I'm sure there's some competitive leagues and competitions, but I would assume that the rest of the world is really just amateurs.
Well, I mean, we're going to have, say, take Australia, for example.
Bill Gowers.
We've got,
Just punting.
He's punting, so that's fine. Then we'll have probably like a decent offensive line, but we don't really have any... Like, I can't think of many other nations that have what they call skilled players. So, like your wide receivers, running backs, etc.
Don't have any of that.
Don't have any of that.
Nah. So it's just, okay, so give them gold right now.
Yeah.
They don't really have to come.
No,
at all.
God, it's
Well, we
pointless.
should make a push for AFL 9s then to be in the league.
Well,
Or the
considering that we've
Olympics.
got the Brisbane Olympics in the
Makes-
not too distant future.
It makes sense. We should have AFL 9s. We would go to town. We would be the equivalent of the basketball dream team in the
Yes,
AFL 9
exactly
field.
right.
No one would get near us at all. So I put together a little, AFL 9s I played. When we were talking about this in the pre-pod, I'm an AFL 9s premiership player.
Didn't know
In
this
Byron
about you.
Bay, 2015, was getting sacked from the Suns, had to keep fit in the off-season, went down to Byron Bay, won a premiership with the AFL 9s. They're the boys from Tassie. Can't remember where they're from.
Okay.
But we won. Touted up. Should have been the competition MVP. I wasn't, but that's okay.
Was it touch nines or was it tackle?
It was touch because I remember trying to tackle people and the umpires were like, absolutely no way. That's that can't happen. So I put a team together of my AFL 9s. It's a 3-3-3 layout formation. So with my forwards, I've got Jeremy Cameron, Isaac Rankin, Isaac Heaney.
Good spread there.
Good spread there.
Yep.
Good in the air, good on the ground.
Yep.
Especially two of those there. Isaac Rankin's more of a ground guy. Mids, gone for pace here. Finn Callahan, Nick Dacos, and now you need a ruck.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a traditional ruck contest in the AFL. I think it's very much a side-by-side, stand there, NBA tip-off type
Sure.
of ruck.
Yep.
So I've gone Sam Darcy.
Oh, I like that.
So I can-
And he could, he can kick goals.
He can go forward if he needs to.
So-
Apparently all your forwards can kick goals.
Oh, there you go.
So he can go forward if we need him. And then defenders, I've just gone for pace here. I haven't gone any defending. Connor Rosey, Jack Sinclair, Ballydale. I want that ball humming out of the back line.
Well, that's very much the assumption that it won't be in the back line.
No.
So we don't need to worry too much.
And if it is, it rebounds so quickly out of there.
Yeah, I like it a
The
lot.
forwards that are playing with defenders, they're just defenders. So it's just a bunch of defenders down there defending each other. As in their forwards defending us, defenders.
Good luck to just some random blokes from Italy lining
Yeah.
up against that.
Exactly. Some poor guy's going to cop it. Just a half-back line coming at him. So that's a little bit of, I don't know what that was, but yeah, sure, bring it in to the
Yeah,
Olympics.
no,
I like that completely. Hey, I'm running 100Ks. Probably as you're hearing this right now, I would be stuck on a treadmill and would have been on that treadmill for the last 5 to 6 hours trying to get this 100Ks out the way.
So how are you? Where are you? What's the...
So let's just fast forward now. It's now 3 a.m.
Yep.
I'm in a gym and I'm on a treadmill because I don't want to run around in the dark at 3 a.m.
Ah, sure.
Very scary.
Yep.
I'm a scaredy cat. I know what I am.
Yep.
So I thought, let's just go to a treadmill, wait for things to get a bit brighter outside, and then I'll start running around the MCG at around 7 o'clock-ish, 8 o'clock-ish.
Like
and I can
it.
see what's going on. So I've currently down, I'm going to assume I would have done 40 Ks now
Okay.
on a treadmill. That doesn't seem right. No less, 30-odd.
Yeah.
74 to go.
Mate, it's a big day for you.
And I've got to babysit my own kid. I've got to look after my own kid at 3:30 today. So
Quickly.
have to squeeze this in somehow. So big day for the legs.
I love everyone commenting, by the way, trying
Oh.
to keep you accountable,
Oh.
being like, "Oh, he's trying to." Mate, this is part of a sponsorship deal. You have to do
Yeah, I
this.
can't duck this.
No.
Everyone's like, you think we forgot about your 104K? Don't you think? Like, I know you guys know everything. We can't say shit without you guys getting on
Yeah.
our backs about it. I'm fully understand and I appreciate it, but I know I have to run 104Ks.
Yes.
So here you are, you sickos. I'm running right now.
Yeah.
As you're listening to this, I am running. I'm hurting. I've probably taken my 15th gel. I've probably done my 4th poo. Like my stomach is empty. My legs are sore. That's right. Electric Ash is probably following me around the MCG, doing God knows what. He's taken off the Nando's.
Yeah.
He's not doing his job properly, but that's where we're at.
Why are you pooing so much?
Because you take the gels, and the gels just come out you like
Oh,
lava.
do
Yeah,
they?
but the big mistake I took one time, and marathon runners will get this, whatever, done 3 of them. You take the caffeine gels out of you
Yes.
very quickly, express lane out. So that's happening right now. So hopefully we'll stay tuned. That'll be a vlog.
Oh yeah.
So stay tuned and see that vlog. Well done to our Socceroos. Well done. We don't normally do soccer here. We do footy because it's the same thing. World game brings people together. Socceroos go on the World Cup next year. That's big. We beat Saudi Arabia in Saudi Arabia. Now, don't know much about them as a nation of soccer players, football players. Seems impressive. I'll take it. Also, we beat Japan last week to guarantee a spot. So look out, North America.
Yeah.
This is big for us.
Well, the two last games in the context of the Asia qualifiers that we need to go through, they're pretty tough. Japan are, by and large, they are absolutely the front runners.
Yep.
Top the group. No matter what team they'll put out there, that's going to be really difficult. So we beat them 1-0 with I don't know, it was like an 80-something minute goal to Aziz Beich. And that was a huge, huge, huge game. And then I think going in, it was like barring like a 4-0 plus defeat to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
We'd be fine, and we won 2-1. So it's huge. And honestly, there have been some seriously good nations that haven't been able to qualify for the last 6 consecutive World Cups. Some really big names. So
Italy.
yeah, this is not to be just sort of passed over really quickly. It's
That's
pretty
the
good.
thing. I think people listening go, "Oh, we don't really care about soccer." No, you do care.
When it rolls
Because
around.
when it rolls
though,
around, remember when the Women's World Cup team was happening and we all went to the pub at like 3 a.m. Don't give me you don't care. You will care. You will stay up. You will watch the games. You'll get right behind the team. So now we've qualified. You get that opportunity. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get the shit bit out of us for sure on the group stage. I don't know. We don't know who we've got yet, but it's never pretty. We really struggle to get out of the group stage.
Yeah.
But we get there. We give ourselves the best chances with battlers. I don't know if soccer's that big. I think it is big here in Australia.
Well, I think the problem is our domestic competition is quite
Yeah.
clearly not where it needs to be. But when it gets to, the individuals that we've got, both on the men's and women's side, are in some pretty big teams across Europe. Our captain's the captain of a Bundesliga side. Like,
Huge.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the thing I love most about soccer is that, I understand. I feel like I'm in the minority in terms of, the percentage of what people care about the sport. But it always seems to provide the biggest moments in sport.
It's great.
So, and it's because it's every 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, I still talk about that Aloisi penalty and the Mark Schwarzer save. And, the moment of, getting into the round of 16 in 2006. Like, it's
Big culture moments.
It is big.
They were huge. Remember Fed Square? Every World Cup, women's, men's is absolutely packed. We let flares off. I'm going to go to Fed Square. I'm going to let 4 flares off at 1 a.m. And I'm going to leave probably if we're getting done. But I'm going to let those flares off.
Hopefully the time zone should be pretty good for us too.
Think so? Yeah, it would be. It'd be around...
Well, it just depends when they do it because they might try and still line the games up for Europe. But
Classic
it's
FIFA.
closer
Classic.
than when, like a Russia or a Qatar.
So I did see this. Now, given I'm not heavily into the soccer, but as I just said, as I explained to everyone, I'm like, when it comes around, it comes to our country, I get passionate, I get around it. I think we all should. I looked and saw, the Socceroos. They're called the Subway Socceroos. Hey, that. Branded the name? The Subway Socceroos. Now, this is not personal attack on Subway because I love Subway. I get Italian BMT, a 12-incher every day of the week.
Totally understand.
Add the cheddar, add the pickles. Do you want some cookies? Duh, you know I do. Mm-hmm. You know I want those damn cookies. They're like a cheeseburger's worth of fat in one cookie. I'll take 4 of them. But to call us the Subway Socceroos...
Particularly when it's not like an Australian food.
Like, we're introduced as the Subway Socceroos. So we've just sold out. I think that may be a little indication of how soccer's going here, that the funding isn't where it needs to be. So we are willing to sell branding names in the title of Socceroos.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's not great. We've had some other names as well. There's been the Qantas Socceroos.
Yep.
The Caltex Socceroos, I think was the one before. Can't quite remember. I at least appreciate the S's. Like Subway Socceroos at least rolls off the tongue better than a Caltex Socceroos.
It does, yeah. No, keep it S. If you're going to sponsor it, keep it all S names like
Get that
Subaru.
alliteration going.
Yeah, keep that like that. But yeah, that caught my attention as well. Also, Australia has been to 6 World Cups since Essendon last won a final.
Far out.
Wow. That's amazing. 6 World Cups.
So Essendon have a chance of doing that every year, and we've got a chance of doing that every 4 years.
And we've done it 6 times before they've done it once recently. Huge. Well done. Well done to Essendon. Well done to Subway Socceroos. Hey, the Hall of Fame was on last night. New members. Always interesting the Hall of Fame comes on because I think you can't get inducted at, I don't know what the years is. Maybe it's like, I'm going to make this up, 10 years after you're actually finishing. But you come around and you look at these people's career and you go, whoa, these guys were absolute studs. First one, Luke Hodge. Hall of Famer. Gary Lyons, now Hall of Famer.
Probably assumed he was already in there, to be honest.
Same. And also, I didn't realize he was as good as what he was.
Yeah, sure.
Just very unassuming. Like, you look at him and you just go, oh, that's just Gary Lyon from Footy Show.
Well, so yeah, exactly. Some of those names, you're aware of what they've done, but they've very much always just been the guy in the suit.
Yep. I don't know who Peter Daly is, but shout out to Peter. Congrats, mate. Great career. Daisy Pearce, Aaron Phillips.
Yes. First AFLW players into the Hall of Fame.
Massive. Nick Rewell, John Leadham, and George Owens, who are deceased. So shout out to all those guys.
Well done, everyone.
Well done. Hall of Famers in my eyes. Why don't you be happy? St Kilda player in there?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
I reckon there's probably a couple of people from that era that would be a serious shout. I'm assuming Robert Harvey would already be in there. If he's not, that
He'd be
feels
close.
a bit ridiculous.
He'd be close. Only a few
like
people
a
get
Lenny
in there.
Hayes. Yeah, but that team was... I still
Stacked.
maintain it's the best team to have never won.
Oh, definitely. That's the Kilda team.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had 2 cracks at it, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a few.
Yeah.
Technically 3. But remember, Kaczynski, Goddard, Hayes, Luke Ball,
You're
Robert
stacked.
Harvey, Stephen Mill, Nick
Gardner.
Revolt, Gardner,
Yeah.
and then even down to your
Patrick
Jason,
Voss.
your Jason Grahams, your McWalters.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
was a good team.
Was Fisher in that team?
He was, I think so. Yeah. Oh,
Should have won one. So shout out those guys in the Hall of Fame. Would have partied hard for sure and well deserved as well. Just before we get into some news here, I've been getting a lot of stuff sent to me on foods you can take to the football. Mm-hmm. Now,
hang on, take or buy when you're there?
no, take into the ground to consume that you've brought from home. Now, this started early in the season where people were sending in like big bowls of what looked like just leftovers. So let's start there broadly. Leftovers from the night before your dinner, bringing that to the Loud House, Optus, any ground you go to, is that okay?
In my head, if you're eating home food, it's been prepared for the day. It's a selection of sandwiches on that morning.
Okay.
It's not.
You can't have
Your lasagna
I
from
got
last night.
pad thai last night. I'm going to bring that in.
I think that's bizarre.
Okay, so there you are. Any DoorDash that you have the night before stays outside the stadium.
Well, just have it at breakfast. Like, you're not saving that much, do you? Really,
just
that's
eat it.
worth. Yeah, exactly.
If I ordered too much DoorDash and there's $70 worth of DoorDash and it's Thai, for instance,
Jesus.
you bet your ass I'm eating all $70 worth of food right there. Nothing is going in the fridge.
Are you taking a break?
Nah.
Well, that's...
Nah. Everything stays on the counter and I sit there like a piece of shit and Anna goes, "Are you done?" I say, "You leave it." Darling, you leave that food there. I'm not done until I say we're done. And I'll go up there and like, I'll eat as much as I can. Rice is the one that gets you. I'll go up there and I'll just, if I'm watching a show, I'm watching Clarkson's Farm at the moment.
Okay.
Say it's on for 3 hours over the dinner being out. Dim Sims. Going for it, you know.
Yeah.
Just satay chicken. Oh, they've been there for 3 hours. That's fine. Nothing goes in the fridge.
Yeah, that's all good. But you're certainly not saving enough to then warrant
Nope.
a saving,
No.
like a purchase the next day.
So
That's
that
ridiculous.
broadly, no leftovers going to the footy the next day. Hot dog in the thermos. Have you seen that? Now, I first came around to this one and said, absolutely no way can you take a steamed water full of big boys into a footy ground, then have the buns ready. And then I saw it and I'm like, actually, I wouldn't mind that. Maybe that's for me okay.
In a weird way, it's almost bringing the buns in that's the weird part.
Yep.
Because they're just getting squashed and you've got to cut them open and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the weird bit.
So I'll say that's okay.
Okay.
Dips and chips, specifically salsa and corn chips. I'm going to say
Okay.
yes or no.
It feels fiddly. That's the only thing. Because you got to think, I feel like the criteria of whether or not it's play on or not is it the type of food that's already sold there?
Yeah.
And to have a jar on your left knee and the chips on the right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Old El Paso sent us a nice care package. Shout out to them. That's why we brought that up on the socials a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. It got, I think Ash actually took it pretty quickly. I'm going to say that is just okay for mine.
Okay.
It's on the border.
It feels fiddly, but play on.
This one, again, probably more of the leftover from last night. Or maybe you have made it. Spaghetti. Let's assume bolognese. Actually, more broad, any spaghetti that you've made to go into the game. Is that okay to eat at the footy?
You can't.
Spaghetti's out.
I think it's cutlery. I think that's where you lose me. You're not going, excuse me, guys, twisting it up. Like, just...
It's just a scene there going, oh, God, this meatball's hard to get. Like, that's the thing, it's a shock factor. I think any of these foods are reeling out. Anytime you have to look over and get your phone out to be like, what the fuck? That's when you know. So the next one, obviously, soup.
Nah, never in a
Soup is not. Soup's out. Soup's out. This one has been, I think, well loved, if it's done right, a cheese board.
I mean, the thing there is you got to appreciate the effort.
So
there's humour there.
Someone had, I think it was in Geelong, someone had like a pre-made, like their wife had made it with all the different sections in the container and had like the blocks of cheese, the Twiggy sticks, like whatever you need, crackers. And that was okay. If it's well already bought and cut, then I'm in for that.
The snob part of me thinks, though, that the likes of a Twiggy stick don't belong in a traditional proper cheese board. So I like the idea of going above and beyond.
I'm big on a Twiggy stick.
Yeah, but not for a cheese platter.
Yeah. No, I'll have I'll have some breakaway Twiggies if I need to. They're good Twiggy sticks. They're fucking so bad for your gut, but they're great. Dim Sims, I think that's more of a... Oh, Dim
Fine,
Sims.
but buy them there.
Yeah, true.
Would you say?
Yeah, this one. 2 litres of soft drink. Any branded soft drink. You bring in a 2-litre bottle.
Cotton.
I'm going to say no. You don't need 2 litres of soft drink.
Are you drinking... have you got, like, polystyrene cups for your family? Or
I think...
is that just for yourself?
Family, I get because times are tough with pricing. I will let that pass. But if you're sitting there and you're just downing a 2-litre soft drink at the football, mouth on bottle, just mouth on rim, and go on 2 hands up, absolutely not.
The only thing I'd say is, not giving anyone ideas, but it might not be the only liquid in that bottle of...
Oh, sneak booze in.
So
Yeah.
that could be a potential grey
sure.
period, grey zone.
And this one we've already spoken about, I think, before, a roasted chook from Woolies.
I mean, that was pretty funny.
That's hard to do. That's really hard.
I'm
going to say yes because it's hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think play on if there's humour and effort.
Yeah. Okay. So the food. So if you do see stuff at the footy this week and you think, oh, I've got to get the phone out, that's probably a giveaway that it is play on or not play on to bring.
Yep.
But send them through and we'll keep evaluating, assessing them one by one. Let's get some news, football news, before we get into the round and make our picks. Hey, this is wild. Cats are actually taking the piss now with this story that broke. I don't get it. I don't know how they're doing it. But it's alleged here and reported the Cats have enough room in their salary cap over the next couple of years to go after 2 or more stars. Bullshit. How are you doing that? How are you doing that? Like the AFL's already been down there and said, yeah, look at our board. Everything's above the table, but also look under the table. There's a full team here. Like how they've done this. It makes no sense. Maybe they've found some new farms and like a shitload of cows somewhere because we know what they do with the cows down there.
Yes.
You know, a player comes down from the state, says, look, great to have you here. Wink, wink. So happy you signed that contract that's undervalued. Also, here's 50 hectares of land and check the cows' anuses. You might find some more things down there. That's what we think is going on down there. So I don't know how they're doing this. And on the picture when this story broke, it was Harley Reid and Zach Butters and Luke Jackson. So let's just say, let's use those players for this example. It might not happen that they go there. If their players are demanding $1.3 million
And they
in their
would.
next contracts, and they would,
Yep.
there's no way Geelong can afford that unless they're literally saying you can take $700,000 and then, hey, you want to become a Deakin Uni ambassador? But it just physically can't make sense in the cap space unless every potential recruit is happy to take half the pay that they normally would get in the market and they're just really into dairy farming. And that I get.
How much of the... Like, are these figures available to find?
All contracts are anonymous. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Because there's half a chance people there are just kind of fine with it.
They have to be. It has to be. It has to be legal. So the salary cap is $17.7 million a year for every team.
Okay.
So they have to squeeze it in somehow. But I just don't know how Geelong keep doing it. It seems like every free agent, if they even end up going there or not, is always linked to going to Geelong. Geelong are always in a conversation.
And one never leaves, it feels like.
No, but like everyone, it feels like, hey, Clayton Oliver, Harley Reid, Zach Butters, whoever it might be. It's like, yep, Hawthorn, Melbourne, whoever it might be, and also Geelong, of course, Jamara, of course, they're always in the conversation.
Man.
So like their recruiting team's either really good or doing something dodgy, and the world revolves around cash, not farming. That's cold hard facts, and I don't know where they're getting from, but I look at their list and I go, like, players on big cash: Jeremy Cameron, Sam DeConning, Stengel, Tom Atkins, Graham Myers, Tom Stewart, Mark Blitzars. Dangerfield wouldn't be that much cash anymore coming back in his career. And you go, okay, maybe that's a lot of their money is there, so maybe they can afford it. But when you just look at the team, what they're doing, and how good their team is, and how you'd think even they are in terms of not players on big contracts, but players between that 300 to 600 mark, then their salary cap would be bursting.
Yeah.
We look at a team like Carlton and you go, oh no, Carlton, they've very obviously spent big money on 8 players because the bottom 6 players I've never heard of before.
Yes.
And they're very much only getting like 3 touches. Like you can tell the spine of Carlton is very rich. But then you look at like Geelong, you go, how? Hell, I don't get it.
You have missed their man Baz as well.
When Baz
He doesn't come cheap.
Well, he's also the Cotton On ambassador, so we know that works.
Well, I don't know.
Allegedly. So he's on say something. I think the rumor, the number getting around was 900,000. Plus, he has so much stuff externally. So he's a player that's, because he's so marketable, externally, those players will go to Geelong because they can make and demand more money outside. Like Nick Dacos will never be a $2 million player at Collingwood because Collingwood will always be stacked. But he knows by staying there, he's in the biggest profit of window for his marketing.
Yep.
He'll go and make up his $2 million with whatever sponsors he's with. And that's fine for him. But again, I don't know how they just keep doing it. Maybe they can afford to do it. I just don't know how they do it. It makes no sense when you first see it, can't you? So, no doubt they'll get whoever's in free agency this year will be a Geelong player, and that makes absolutely no sense, and we'll keep crying about it.
I tell you what, if they got Luke Jackson and like Harley Reid for the future, they probably do need a ruckman.
Yeah.
Like a really dominant one.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Who's beating that team?
It'd be over for the league. It'd be so over. I think they're just, and we give them a lot of shit, but I think Geelong is a really good family club who we know they get very busy between the sheets, which I think players do enjoy. Mm-hmm. Obviously, everyone enjoys it. It's great fun. And they're getting paid for it, so it's even better. I think they're just a great culture, family, and no one's a bad thing. And also, Chris Scott defends his players like his life depends on it. Mm-hmm. I think that's very attractive.
Yes.
Plus, they pay him illegally. Allegedly.
So when you
put all that together, there's your case for
box,
it.
yeah.
There's your case. Speaking of Geelong and what's going on there, and Baz, our guy who we love, we've got to protect him at all costs.
Oh, yeah.
I love him. Sent out a cryptic little message to the league in his story yesterday. Now, did you see this thing?
Yeah, I did.
So what were your first... I'll give some context and get your thoughts. So off the back of his secret meeting with Andrew Dillon, where it was like, hey, we need you to be a good boy. Daddy's very angry at you. Mm-hmm. Can you please try and keep things together? Because I think we've looked at the Brownlow votes and you're leading it. So let's try and keep this thing very clean, well-mannered. Do you have a suit to wear? Great. Ties up, please. Black tie. Very formal. Then another story came out by Caro, who, mind you, has had the worst week as a journalist that we've seen in a very long time. Very impressive how much of a rough week she's had for journos who seemingly at the moment in the league start making some bullshit up and just fly with it and get no repercussions for their rumours. She said there's some players down Geelong that aren't happy with everything Baz is doing. Now, he storied this scene from Scarface. We'll play it out.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy. So, what I make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide. Lie.
Wow. Okay.
Bit on there.
That's a lot from Baz. So I think that was Baz just saying to Caro, hey, you actually need me because without me, none of your little storylines make a lot of sense.
And the league itself just needs him.
Oh, they do.
We need
been
a character.
We need someone to give us a little bit of personality at the moment because everyone's a bit robotic. Everyone's just like, yes, sir, no, sir. But Baz is out there going, no, not me at all. I don't do that.
Could have possibly picked a better character than Tony Montana.
Yeah, I mean, now you look back at it, like he definitely did love nose beers. So I guess you're probably feeding back in. He actually sold them, so that would be probably a different character he could have used. But again, Baz just letting Caro know, hey, you're not perfect either, and without me, you would have your little stories to fill your boots with. So, and also, Caro breaking the story, one, might have been believable if it was anyone but her, for sure. And two, just isn't true. We know he's with the Geelong boys flat out. Mornings with Gaz hanging out as well. There's lots of evidence there to say, no, they actually really like him after the games. They're all saying how good Baz has been for the group and how, sure, he's him, he is him, but we let him be himself. And we like Baz. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's anything behind that at all. No, and then she had she had Chris Scott on her show, whatever it's called, and said that, well, she pretty much hit him between the eyes about it and asked him. So let's play this.
I was so disappointed that he equated winning a premiership with potentially going out and taking drugs. And obviously, sometimes you must find yourself wondering how strong you have to be to stick up for your player and maybe put your principles aside, because I just don't believe that's something you would ever do.
You know, I think about it a lot, and I would just challenge your assertion that that's what he did. I think he responded to a troll in the way that modern-day players respond to trolls. I think it was a joke and it should have been intended that way.
With his
history, though. So was it a joke? Yeah, but because of his history, that's why he gets targeted by these sorts of
Daisy's loving it.
people and these sorts of comments.
Dylan didn't think it was a joke.
No, but he's entitled to his opinion as well. I would challenge that as well. I think they understand that it was a joke that fell flat, and Bailey understood almost immediately that that was something that he shouldn't have done.
He left it up for so long.
I was so disappointed that...
Sorry. Just on that, definitely not immediately, because as our unofficial lawyer here,
I would also like to bring to...
Get legal with it.
Yeah, I would like to bring the defence party here to be aware of the fact that Bailey didn't even delete the comment. That guy did. So Bailey didn't realise quickly... He left it up until the other guy deleted it.
A long time. And after a couple of phone calls to him to say, you sure you'll leave this up there? And it was a bit like, hey, it's fine. It's going to be all good. So a couple of things there that aren't true. Just want the legal court to know that, the legal party over there to make sure they're all over it.
That we're
all good. So,
and he was not equating the use of drugs with a premiership.
No.
You would never think of those things going in.
No, yeah. I think the media is very much like they don't think that players will go and party after a premiership. They're just like, oh no, everyone just goes home and relaxes.
Daisy was quiet.
Yeah, Daisy was sitting there going, no one asked me, please. Like, Caro, I think all that old man media thinks, oh yeah, once they win the flag, they just go home and like, they'll go to the pub the next day.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, Matt, no. Yeah. And then she keeps going. So this whole thing about your guy, Wangani Miller, has just taken really just weird, bad journalistic standards levels to a new kind of height that I didn't think this story would even evolve into. So she tried to break the story about Wangani Miller not wanting to go to Adelaide because of Taylor Walker. Wangani Miller's manager, Ben Williams, came out and said, look, this is just not true. I don't know where this has come from. It's not true at all. Caro then calls Adelaide's CEO and says, look, I've heard this story. He says, again, I'm shocked by this. I haven't heard this at all. She's going, well, I'm telling you, someone's told me this. Then Tex calls Ben Williams, the manager, and wants to say, hey, have I done something here? If I have, I'm so sorry. I hope it doesn't sway the decision of Wangani Miller. But, if I have, let me know. Then today, Nasiah Wangani Miller has now called Tex to tell him that, hey, this all isn't true. I haven't made any decision. I actually haven't said a thing. But someone else is speaking for me, being a mouthpiece for something we haven't done or has even been confirmed, and we don't know where it's come from.
Also, just double checking, he does follow him. On Instagram
as well. So then people they've come back to her and said, well, hey, this is not true, and she's dying on this hill. She wants to die on this hill to say that Ben Williams now doesn't know what's going on with his own player.
I do stand by the story, and I don't think Ben Williams probably knows the way fully how Nasiah actually feels. Now, Nasiah, I'm not backing away from it. Nasiah could change his mind, but that is what Nasiah has told colleagues and friends, that is the way he feels. Are we going to have a listen to what Taylor Walker said? Because Taylor Walker spoke today
on Triple M.
And I want to say something about this too. Let's have a listen to
Taylor. So then Taylor Walker speaks and she says that Taylor Walker should just called Nasiah in the first place, and all this just makes no sense. And this is already the thing that we hate about old man media so much. It's so negative. It's not genuine. I think this is very much just like, why would anyone in Nasiah's camp, management, St Kilda's camp, list managers, anyone who would know anything, Port Adelaide list managers, why would anyone tell Caro? Because there's no elevation of Nasiah's contract here by leaking this information. This does nothing for his contract monetary wise. So there's no reason for them to go too hurt with this story.
No.
It's horrible. It's a bunch of I believes and I thinks, and if a source is anonymous, then unfortunately we have to take that a source is probably wrong. I think what Caro has done is, and it's tough because I get it as well. Now, I'm not, I think she's a bit old now. I think she's 65. But she's probably mistaken something she's seen on Reddit for a conversation she's had with someone. And I totally get that, because sometimes I blur the lines of, if someone says that Cripper's never going to leave the Blues, but then someone says, oh, my mate who's a butcher who's friends with Paddy Cripps' dog's uncle's friend says he's actually going to go to the Eagles.
Yes.
Then it all becomes very blurred to me.
Well, I mean, the other day you were telling me about that time you took a holiday to the moon and then you did a slippery slide off the moon to Melbourne and then you remembered it was a dream.
It was a dream.
You do get confused about reality.
And it never happened. So, no idea what's going on here, but journalistic standards all-time low at the moment in the AFL.
So that's 3 now. So that's a 2-week ban, are we thinking?
Well, we did say that if you are a journalist out there and you break a story and you run with it, and like this, you just want to keep going and going, and it finds out that it's probably wrong, normally there's no repercussions for you as a journalist. It's like, okay, well, again, I'm going to keep shooting. you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So you keep shooting. But now what I'd like to see is a ban from, I don't know if it's the league or someone, maybe it's a journalist association, where something like this where Caro would get 2 weeks. She can't break any stories.
I mean, could you imagine? I love so much when you see a player that's been banned for the week and they're up in the stands wearing the puffer jacket.
Yeah.
Imagine her sitting in the crowd.
Just, not allowed to report anything.
Doesn't
report, has to be held accountable. So it's just, it makes, I don't know, I hate it so much. I hate old man media. All that stuff right now, all those shows, there are some really good journalists out there, and it makes them look really shitty because stuff like this happens. But to me, the media at the moment feels very gossipy, very rumor milly. There's nothing that's actually factual behind these things. It's a lot of I thinks and I believes, and I don't like it at all. And I feel for Nasai in this case because this is a guy who's worked his ass off to get in a position where he can get a 7-year contract, get paid, give money to whoever wants to give money to, support himself, his family, and now talking about something that he hasn't done.
Yeah.
So dumb, so dumb. Someone who was getting paid. Massive bag alert. Cozzy Pickett, about to get paid. 9-year, $12.5 million deal. Well done, Cozzy.
Well
Deserve
done.
that. D's going to be paying him 8% of the salary cap. That's wild. As he said, salary cap is $17.7 million. 1.4 of that a year is going to him. That equals 8%. Now, for Geelong fans, I know you're probably struggling to understand what it is in monetary-wise, so we'll put it in terms you understand. It's like a farm.
Yep.
With free cotton on for life.
Oh, God, could you imagine?
If you understand how that works in payment standards long term. So a quick turnaround for him on this deal because it felt like all year and even the preseason, a lot of stuff coming out. But this guy's very homesick, not for the first time. He wants to go home. He's following certain plays. He's been texting the Freo boys saying, I'll see you soon, change management groups. And then a couple of days ago, Melbourne were like, we have to act quick on this. We're going to lose him. He's in some great form. Let's just put a huge deal in front of him. Let's just park a big truck of cash in his driveway and see what he thinks.
Yeah.
This is what it feels like.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, when you move your management to not only just changing management, but to a Perth-based management team, maybe it might make me feel a bit comfortable if Nazar changes his to an Adelaide-based one.
Yeah.
Maybe it works in our favour.
So
it's one of the big backflips.
It's a massive backflip, and it's not done yet, but reports are he's going to sign this and he'll turn his back on whatever Freo's deal is. So I think the nervous thing here, and this would be fine because Melbourne can lock him in here, but he has been homesick. It feels like every preseason over the last couple of years. So this is essentially Melbourne just saying, hey, sign a bit of paper, we'll lock you in. And if you want to leave, that's all good. But it'll take an army to get you out. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
And you're being well paid.
It's very much the attitude of you never see anyone crying in a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So we can't fix the homesick factor.
No.
But you might as well just feel homesick in a mansion.
Yeah. I know you feel bad, but how good's the Lamborghini you got in your driveway?
Yeah.
That might make you feel better.
Yeah.
Or the nice house you've got somewhere in Toorak. Like, does that make you feel a little bit better?
Yeah.
If not, like, it's a big call for a 23-year-old. Like, I get it. He's a great player, but it's a lot of money to invest in a small forward who has been homesick, who I guess he is playing a bit midfield, so he deserves it. He's an excitement machine. Mm-hmm. It's just a big offer. It did feel, and it does feel like Melbourne, like, whatever money we've got, just throw it at him.
Well, I think the most interesting thing here is he's probably worth that, but now there's going to have to be some book juggling in the off-season, and I'll be fascinated to see how that looks.
Well, Ash was saying that he thinks that this deal means that maybe an Oliver or Chuck is getting moved out of the books to make it work. Gorney's coming to the end, so does Gorney keep getting paid as much? Probably not, but Ash is very much the belief that, okay, one of those two is gone still.
That's a lot of cash on 3 blokes.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
I guess they have a lot of young players at the moment who aren't being paid, but will need to be paid soon, so it's
There is a bit of the Carlton golden spine attitude. There's a bit of that.
Take it out of the Carlton playbook. Yeah. I reckon for all teams out there, you should go down the path of it. I'm living it. You pay 8 blokes just to like 70% of salary cap, and then the rest you just try and find a way through the VFL to bring some players up to play with them.
Yeah.
I don't hate it at all. But well done him, getting that bag. And Freo are going to miss out on him after being in the market for him flat out. So that's going to hurt for them. Also, I think their CEO was like, they need to stop talking about our players as well. Freo.
Yeah, get your Will Smith style.
Yeah.
Get our players' names out of your mouth.
I think so. So they're not happy in this at all. But who knows? There might be another backflip in this. Stay tuned.
Oh, mate.
It'd be a huge backflip.
Knowing him, he'll be homesick for Sydney. And there'll be like a whole new thing.
Actually, I feel like I'm homesick for Adelaide now. Yeah. He has 2 years to go on his contract as well. So Ash was saying that they scrap the 2 years left of his contract and then just make it a 9-year deal completely, 1.4 averaged over the 9.
So what? That takes him to, 32 or something?
Yeah, it'll be the longest contract play in the league. Well done. I'm all for everyone getting that cash. All right, let's do our round picks here. Big round coming up. Suns, Collingwood, Sydney, Richmond all have beers this weekend. They're on the bye, so enjoy that, lap it up, and really get as many as you can into before you're back for the second half of the year. And as we spoke about at the top of the program, Saints back off the bye. Take on Doggies. Let's go. Marvel Stadium, 200 games with Jack Sinclair. His calves are big as shit.
Oh,
Jeez, he's got some big calves on him. Got a whole paddock down there.
did you see me ask him about that?
No, what'd he say?
Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
Give me one moment.
Okay. Pretty good chip.
Do you reckon you got the biggest calves in the AFL?
No lube.
They say it's between Lockie Neal and myself.
So it's a thing.
I think it's unspoken, but like you know,
Yeah.
people know about it.
Yeah. He does have absolutely massive calves.
Yeah, they're big.
They're huge. Lockie Neals are huge as well. Is anyone else in the connection for having massive calves?
Well, we can dissect this. So it's because of his height and stature. So you got to be bottom heavy in that kind of 5 foot 10, 11 range.
Yeah.
I'd say to have those massive calves.
They're so big. And like they're two cows. Pretty much the
Yeah.
size of two cows, both just planted in the back in between his ankle and his kneecap.
Yeah.
They're mooing. Moo. And Lockie Neal's got huge ones as well.
Yeah.
So that's a battle of the calves right there.
200 games sort of snuck up on me for old Sinks, but it's going to be great.
Big
Great
effort.
celebration.
Big effort for him. Congrats to 200. Dogs are 20-point favourites here, so that's not good.
Moving on to reality.
Say.
Yep.
Now reality hits. So already met once this year. Again, reality hits. Dogs beat the shit out of you guys by 71 points. Do you remember that game? I don't remember it. It would have been a snooze fest for me.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah. What happened?
It was over Easter, I believe.
Okay.
I think. And in our defence, we had just come off a pretty wicked run.
Yep.
Like, we had definitely beaten Geelong by that stage. Things were looking pretty good. I think we had spanked Richmond potentially by like 80-something. It was
Okay.
and then that hit. And so that was Bont's first game back, and it was a real, we've got some work to do
You're going to hate
going
this.
forward.
Sam Darcy's first game back. Again, so I love this, as we spoke about it already. Every team uses the Saints as like their rehab game, debut game. Like you guys are very much the let's get an easy run back into form or to the league. Agreed?
Well, the debutant aspect, yes.
Yeah.
And the other half of what you just said, yes, also.
Yeah, because Sam Darcy pretty much broke his knee in 14 places.
Man, as if
And
he's
now
not coming through the VFL leagues just for 1 week. Like, I'm looking out for him, if anything. I love him. Nah, shove him in.
Yeah,
He'll be fine.
Let him fill his boots up, get confident back against the
Man.
Saints at Marvel on prime time. It's pretty wild because, as we said, the reports of what his injury was to him playing football now, he was out for a year doing rehab, doing surgery. His dad does a spin class, sits next to a surgeon. That surgeon says, let's do a second opinion. Oh, actually, you're only out for another 3 weeks. It's not that bad. We don't need surgery.
Yeah.
So for him to come back and play is extraordinary scenes, not what you want as a Saints fan. Not on prime time, so that's never good. Bevo also just signed a 2-year extension, so there's a lot. There's a lot of things happening at the Doggies, which would make me nervous. Bont hasn't signed, which is good, I guess. That's
Time of recording.
But yeah, but also now he wants to get his money up, so he could go absolutely Bont here and just wipe the floor with you guys. So, any chance he goes elsewhere? Bont or not?
Well, we spoke about it. It feels so out of this world that it would happen, but just purely from a business point of view, it can. It would just look weird.
I know everyone goes, he is such a Western Bulldogs player, and yeah, he's been great for the club, one of the all-time greats, if not the greatest. But I can also see him leaving. Just to be like, you know what, I've done as much as I can with this group. Maybe my legacy means more if I get another flag or 2 flags. Maybe I want that success as a team. Is it here at the Bulldogs? Now I'm not saying he is going to leave, but I can close my eyes and picture it.
I think the only thing is we're starting to find that the Bulldogs are probably onto something.
They have something.
Now,
they have a
haven't
Sam
they?
Darcy, so that's you probably want to stick close to that.
See how that goes.
Yeah. And Jack McRae might be back for you guys as well. Ooh. So that's a big inclusion. I think that... See, this will be... So... Okay. Dogs gave me nothing. Let's talk about practically.
Okay.
Dogs gave me nothing to really be excited about last week. I hate them coming off the bye.
Yep.
I like Sam Darcy's back. You guys are now off a bye. and you probably didn't want the bye given how well you played in Alice Springs.
Yep.
So I'm nervous for you guys off the bye, and it's not personal, but I don't like
No.
you off the bye.
Ross Lyon, bit of jet lag from Vegas. So
Yeah,
take that into
and he's been in
consideration.
Vegas, so I don't like that. And I just don't think...
I mean, the thing is, when we played the Dogs a couple of weeks ago, which is ridiculous, we got them again, but whatever. When I saw Bont was in, I've learnt my lesson for sure, but it didn't bother me that much. And that's not because he's incredible, but I just thought, I've seen it enough times with some amazing players. It's not uncommon to take a game to really hit
Yep, of course.
hit your stride.
Yep.
But he came straight in immediately and was just incredible.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, is there a chance Darcy's a little bit...
Well, Cal Wilkie was talking about him on radio. He was like, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, not good coming from
that's
probably
not
our
right.
best player. Hey, like...
When your best defender's going, it's not fair.
and
I've
our
never seen
defence is
anything
probably
like
our
it. Yeah.
best attribute.
Like, he was very much like, this guy's a freak. I don't know how he stopped this. So that's, okay, I'm a pig. I pick Dogs. Just the back of your All-Australian fullback being like, don't know what I've got for that. That's enough for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I'll tip legally St Kilda, but
Right.
there's not much in me that suggests that I'm going to have to be angry about
Great.
that. From
And
you.
if you're hanging around a train station, keep looking for people in Saints gear. They'll have 2 tickets for you for sure. They're free as well. So make sure you grab those. And if you don't want them, you don't have to use them because it's just a pamphlet of paper, really.
Please use them.
Friday night prime time in Launceston, running it back to the hometown. In Lonnie, Adelaide, Hawthorn, Battle of the Birds. Game of the round, some are saying now they can't be split the market. Hawks favoured by less than half a point. That is just an even ball game right here, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be cold as shit down there. Always cold as shit. Look for lots of long sleeves going on the arms. Maybe lots of oil on the arms. Didn't see many oiled up players in the weekend outside Rochelle and Chol.
Yep.
So maybe that's the thing that players aren't really doing, but long sleeves will be down there. Jordan Dawson's now a favourite on the Brownlow. Dan Curtin's a rising star this week. They found a guy right there. Hawks were bad last week. They found a little bit of form. Oh, no, good, sorry. They found some form with Guinea, who's in a great patch of football. And we think they're Hollywood Hawk again. Mm-hmm. But I'm very anxious to tip them because I don't really know if they're full Hollywood or was that just like that first scene was really good. Is this a full film?
Was it a straight to TV movie? You know,
I also don't like Adelaide in Tassie for some reason.
I'm trying to think how I feel about that. I prefer them than a West Coast or a Freo.
Tassie's a primetime game. Friday night.
First one.
Wow.
First one. There might have been one in Hobart. Oh, actually, no. That I heard that somewhere. But surely, those during COVID, those finals.
Oh, it would have been.
Surely one of those was a nighttime
I
game.
don't know. No roof for the stadium.
Yeah. Well.
Wow. Also said that AFL's not budging on that.
Yeah. No. Great. So it's all gone to shit.
It's all got to shit.
Yeah,
Government went
that's
back to AFL, said any chance, and they said absolutely no way. You know our requirements. This thing needs a roof in it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that's not happening.
So that's fun, isn't it?
Okay. Your parents got on this at all?
Yes, Mum will be going. Yep. It'll go off. Look, I'm going Hawthorn for this one. It's like, I mean, I even back North when they're in Hobart, man. Like,
Yeah.
they've had enough. But when you arrive at Launceston Airport, there's still
all Hawthorn stuff.
like cutouts of Hawthorn there.
Yeah. And
So-
a big crocodile's there, I think, as well. I made that up. It's not a
You've
crocodile
definitely
at all.
made that up, but yeah, could be a platypus.
I'm not sure. Probably. I love both these teams, so it's very hard for me to decide on what to do here. I think I love Adelaide more at the moment, and I trust them more.
I like it. All right.
And I don't hate that it's in Tassie, even though Hawthorn, it is their home away from home. I'm okay with Adelaide here. As a real like affirmation to the league, like no,
It would
you
be.
thought last week was legit. Well, this week we're more legit. May as well put us down for the top 4, please.
Okay.
We'll see in Adelaide twice if we need to get the grand final. Give me Adelaide. Then Super Saturday. Let's hope it's a Super Saturday, not a sleepy Saturday. We need a big Saturday to bring things back here because last Saturday sucked ass. Gabatoir, Giants, Lions 19-point favourites. Semi-final rematch. If you cast your minds back, ladies and gentlemen, to the semi-final last year, Lions were down by 44 points, 18 minutes into the third quarter. What do? Come back, win by 5 points, left the Giants with a big old scar up the chest. That's a tough one to heal. better win than their grand final. I think the grand final was very much in cruise control. This one was a big, gutsy win. So big rematch here. Lions get that big son of a bitch, Big O back in. Starcevic and Sam Day. Toby Green, I think, is a bruised butt cheek.
Not what you
Not
want.
good to have the bruised bum cheek there. Finn Callahan might be back. So the Giants lose this. They're out of the top 8, we think, we're predicting, which is not good for a team that has really not been going well at all outside the first 4 rounds of football. Just can't get anything going. Can't get any run on the ball. Can't get any speed. Their home games are boring. I don't know where their home games are. They're sometimes at that shit old NG. Then they're in Canberra. Then they're on the road. Just been bouncing around the league. That's what it looks like. They haven't been settled all year. But they haven't played consistent games at NG where they can play every second or get 2 in a row there. Then they go to Canberra and they bounce around. Like, they just need to settle in a base. Make sure their clothes are in their own homes, in their own environments. This is not good for them to be in the Gabatoir against a Lions team who is coming off a Friday night primetime loss to the Crows. Should have won it. Fagan will be winding them up. They'll be angry. I still am having trouble fully not respecting, but wanting to get behind them as much as what they deserve, because I just feels different to me. But I think the Giants are so poor that Lions will get the job done here quite easily.
I felt the same, but I tell you what, there's a part of me that's just genuinely really like Brisbane outside of Brisbane.
This one's in Brisbane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, I looked at it and I went, oh, this could get ugly, but then I thought,
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. No, the Lions just have... they won't lose. I don't know what the weather's doing up there, but they won't lose in Brisbane. This is just their bread and butter.
They have, though.
Brisbane, I know, but Brisbane, what is it? I'm assuming it's a 120 game. Like, this is just a game where they say, yeah, we love it. If it's sunny, forget about it.
Yeah, it's a 19 cloudy.
Yeah,
Slight cloudy.
this is a game that... Now, they've got to just kick straight. If they kick straight and get that sorted, they're fine. So I think this would be one where the Giants will still be at top 8.
Yep.
And give me Brisbane, Chris Fagan back on the board, and everyone needs to respect them.
Yep, agreed.
Okay. Then we go after that, the Loud House. Chris Scott and the Cats, Bombers and Brad Scott. Cats are 28-point favourites. Who will the family love more after this game? Who's going to be the family they put on the pedestal, and who's the brother they say, you know what?
Get out.
Get out. You are a disappointment to the family. We'll find out. Busy week for the Cats, as we know. The whole defending Baz thing, the whole secret meetings. Lots going on out there outside the football field. The cows, the semen, the milking, the players after the game, the kids. Like, it's been a busy week for the Cats here. So we think Baz will be back.
From all reports, I would imagine Baz will be back.
You'd think so. I think he's learning his lesson. The fake suspension, that wasn't suspension. Trying to blame his hamstring. I think he's back. They're rolling. They're a really good team. The absolute wagon. Now, Jeremy Cameron, he could kick 10 here.
Yeah, he could.
He generally could fill his boots.
I tell you what, there was a part of me there where I thought you were going to go Essendon.
No,
But
God, no. Sorry.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I was building it. Oh, sorry, Essendon fans out there. There's no way you win this.
No.
Let's be completely honest. We'll start. I'll give you a lot of credit for you guys being competitive.
Absolutely.
For sure, you're bringing a lot of effort, but I think you're also too young, this is a different league for you guys. This is Geelong Cats coming to the Loud House. They actually love playing it at the moment. They put on a good show. I think it's a 4:30 game as well.
4:15, yep.
4:15, so that means they can go home. They'll be excited about that to see the kids, have sex after for sure, all the players. So this is very, very easy for me. Cats by heaps. Jeremy Cameron will kick 10.
Yeah.
I think he'll have a field day. One forward's kicking a lot of goals. I think it'll be Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and they don't play around the Cats. Once they get an easy game, it's not like what has been happening with Essendon last week with the Blues. Blues just fucked around and made Essendon feel like they were in it. Week before that, Lions fucked around, made them feel like the young Essendon players were in it. I think the Cats will go down there and Chris Scott will be like, absolutely no way.
Well, they're a very genuinely serious, ready-to-go team.
There's not
Teams
much,
like that don't do that.
outside of Baz, there's not many ha-has going on.
No.
You don't see a lot of smiles.
Good point, actually. Well, Jezza probably would have a little bit of a ha-ha.
But then he switches on.
That's true,
You know what I
actually.
mean? Then he's like a killer. He's like Terminator out there.
That's
There's not many
true.
prior to that, there's not lots of laughing going on.
That's true.
It's just like, we're a very good outfit. We're a business outfit. We'll go down there. And our ha-has is going to town on you. Like, we very much enjoy that. So this is this is so easy here. Cats by a lot. Then we go to North. Wow. Oh, my God. I don't know how this works.
Good home game.
Just saw it then. North with another home game in Perth. Now, they host Fremantle at home, which is actually Freo's home. So now Freo are playing away in front of their home fans. Freo away from home, at home, are now 5-goal favourites. So North played last week in one of the worst games we've ever laid our eyes on. That was a bleached chopstick in the eyes, give your eyeballs to the dog's job. That was disgusting. Never want to talk about it or see it again after this. Cam Zurhaar was given the keys to the city.
Oh, Bunbury, wow.
Yeah, after that game winner. So he's now the mayor down there, which is big for him. And they're having a good time down there. I don't know if you see stuff on the socials.
Oh, tourism central.
Jeez, a lot of good vibes, a lot of fishing, a lot of swimming, a lot of smiling. Jack Darling looks like he's really happy to be back.
Not a lot of training.
I have not seen one football
So-
being kicked around. A lot of just exploring what WA has to offer. Being together for 2 weeks now, travelling and seeing all of what beautiful Perth has to offer. So I hate that this is their home game in front of Freo's crowd.
Man, just play at a Bunbury. That still I get.
Yeah.
A bit more. But Optus Stadium, I'm still assuming here. So obviously, as everyone here that has like some form of decent membership would know, if you pay X amount, you've got your seat.
Reserve seat.
There's not going to be anywhere enough North Melbourne fans here to take over those seats. So surely I would be interested to know how the ticket system works. It's just a Freo home game.
It's a Freo home game. I don't know how they sold it. I don't know how they get the money out of that. Is it just ticket sales? I'm not really sure. But there's going to be 5,000 North fans there, and whatever the rest holds at Optus Stadium will be Freo fans. Man. This is horrible. So they're going to do all the North Melbourne activations, I assume.
Yeah.
North Melbourne do all the pre-game stuff in someone else's house.
I would imagine so. That'd be awkward.
That's literally just like it's pretty much just going to someone else's house, knocking the door, and taking a dump and not flushing, and being like, oh yeah, just sit in this for a bit.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I don't like this at all.
Man, I would never do quarter-time Red Rooster activation at the Gabba.
No.
That would feel bizarre.
Disgusting. It's illegal. Freo now coming off the bye. Again, don't like them off the bye, but they were hot before, beat the Suns, Port and the Giants, and currently, which I saw, youngest team in the comp. Average age of 24.6 years old with 78 games experience. How have they done that?
How? That can't be
Youngest
right.
team in the comp is Freo. So
is that just by average? I assume.
I think it's average. I think
so.
it's
There's
an average team.
A couple of your boys in Richmond that,
but they are
just
pretty young.
tip the scale
Outside Nat Fife, there's not a lot of old guys getting around that team.
Suppose so.
They're very young, very very young. So they're things are looking up down there. Not the boring team that we thought they were. They did get moved off of prime time a couple of weeks ago after the game against St Kilda. I think they've recovered from that. And as we said, CEO Simon Garlick, not happy with Melbourne, but that's outside of this game. So I think that this is so dumb that this is in WA and it's North's home game. So North will lose their home game, get paid lots of money, and then be on a flight out of there.
Yeah.
Give me Freo.
Yeah.
Give me Freo. Then we move to Sunday. Pre-graveyard in the funeral time slot, 3:20 p.m. Oh, this looks gross on paper. Port Adelaide host Melbourne. Port are 2-point favourites. Melbourne need to get the family back together. Tough week for the family. May gone. They're hosing it down, saying nothing to see here. We're all good. Now the family has to go on a holiday together off the back of an argument. That's going to be a tough trip to go and hang out at the hotel, train together, be together 24/7. That makes me nervous. I generally think that the whole Melbourne team hates each other, but Max Gawn is such a dad and such a good person in the media and a PR person that he's holding this thing together.
Yes.
Like he would die for this football club. So he's going to make it look like everything's really good, but behind closed doors, not good. We had a guy who wrote into us actually about Stephen May.
Okay.
He says, on the Stephen May shit that happened, I'm a surf lifesaver. I rescued May at a training camp in Lorne last year. He injured himself while surfing. He told me to fuck off after helping him out the water. I wasn't in uniform, so no reason for me to help at all. Anyway, we've got a double spread in the paper. And the paper spread is literally Maisie. Like, it looks like I think it said he got caught under the water surfing. Came off a wave and got caught under, and this guy was like, I'm going to help you. And the guy was like, fuck off. Man, he's angry all the time. He's angry all the time. So if you come across him, I would recommend maybe just leaving him alone at the moment. It's a tough period for him to go through and to talk to people. Against a team that I don't know what Port are. Really don't know what Port are. They're, again, the hardest team to tip at the moment.
Kind of don't know what either of these teams are, to be honest.
I know Melbourne's just angry at each other, and that scares me. Very angry, very talented, and now just throwing money. Melbourne is so confused. Like, they love each other, then they hate each other, and then it's like, hey, would a lot of money make this better? I don't get that at all. But again, with Port, I don't know what they are. Like, Ken keeps telling people that he has a big break coming up. It's like his sixth thing he's saying to the media. It's like, oh, 11 more weeks left of this shit. Then I'm out of here, you know? Like now he's getting giddy with the media saying, I'm always out of here. This is great. And I think he now knows that he can't lose his job.
No.
There's no way they're going to start the car with 10 weeks to go.
No.
So he's very relaxed about it. I don't think he would care to extent, but outside that, wouldn't give a shit about this team, what's happening at the moment. Oh, I don't know how Port score. Oh, I'm going to go only because of what, but Melbourne as well, lost by a point to Collingwood. Only because it's in Adelaide, give me Port.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't like the family's angry and they're going on holiday. And Port will just...
Nothing good comes out of those trips.
Not when they're angry at each other
No.
like that. No. Again, but I don't trust that. I say Port, but I have no confidence at all in that.
Okay,
So if you're making your tips based off our tips, you know what I'd do? I'd half circle both teams in your tipping thing.
Smart.
To make sure to throw whoever's running it off. And then here we go. Do you know what this is?
What's this?
Huge Blues danger game. Eagles, Blues. I'm in the position you were in merely weeks ago. A nervous position where I told you it was a danger game.
Yep.
You went from being confident to very unconfident really quickly. And now I find myself in that same position. And I can tell you right now, not confident.
Mate, I think that now they've had their win, it calms down again.
Okay.
I don't think it's that they've got the taste for it and let's go for it again. I think it's a thank God we're building towards that. And now we're back to reality.
Yeah, pressure's off.
Yeah.
Well, Blues are 4-goal favourites. Optus Stadium also putting up a story on their thing saying, what should Dan do if the Eagles win? Hold on a minute.
It's not up to
Yeah, well, I'll decide that. Let me come up with that. Like, this is like, are the Blues back or are they ready to just do the biggest shit in the bed ever and ruin the season? Like, this would be shit down the legs. Everyone can see it. Disgusting amount of poo. And the season officially would be done. Like, there was a pulse last week off the back of the win.
Yep.
It was a gross win, but now we have to travel to Perth to play an Eagles team who we know gets a lot of the footy. It's not like they're not getting the footy. They just can't kick straight.
Sure.
So they kicked 6-16 last week. I think it's hilarious that we've been gifted West Coast for the second time into North Melbourne the week after.
great. We'll take Bulldogs while you take West Coast. Right.
So... the fact that it's the last game of the round as well is so nerve-wracking.
That's exactly where I was
Because we have
at.
to come in on Monday and have to report on this, and I'm either going to be so upset and angry at the whole world, or I'm going to be really happy knowing that we survived the danger game.
Mm-hmm.
Blues will win this. The Blues, this is just one where it's actually hilarious to talk about and even think that we'd lose this game. But I get that there's going to be a big storyline about it. Oh, the Blues, it's a danger game for the Blues. I get that, and that's very good that you guys can talk about it, and that's your storyline. But this is very much going to be very cut and clean. We went there last year and beat them with a VFL team.
Yeah, at Adelaide Oval, though.
No, last season when we were...
Oh, last season,
remember?
sure.
Yeah, our VFL team beat them. So we're healthier than that time last year.
Yeah, but you almost did lose to a VFL team on the weekend.
Yeah.
At a home game.
Yeah, but the Eagles aren't that young.
You don't reckon?
No.
Suppose not.
No. So this is very, very easy. Harley Reid, the band Creed, Need for Speed, Blues by 67. Blues by 67. So let's go. If for some weird world like the Eagles somehow, let's be completely honest here. Eagles fans, I like it. I've been behind you. Mm-hmm. Your team stinks. Mm-hmm. Like it's really bad. Last week, I think we all as a league could agree, like, oh, very bad team. Mm-hmm. Ugh, yuck. If for some reason this stinky team down there does beat us, then I'll fly to Perth and every player can throw eggs at me. As like, you're such a, here's egg on your face, look what you said about us. If they can hit me, you know? Which might be, again, difficult
One
task
of their
for them.
issues. They'll have a lot of the egg.
There'll be a lot of eggs in their hand,
Yeah.
but as we've seen with their football skill, very hard to hit the goal, which would be me. That's how confident I am.
Oh,
so last time we had the Harley Reid tattoo one.
Yeah.
This one's more degrading.
Yeah, true.
Having AFL footballers throw eggs at you.
And they will not.
They will hurt.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Blues will win this. Harry will come back, you'd think.
The only thing I'll say is that there was an element of they are a very stinky team.
Yep.
But they didn't play anywhere near what I've been used to watching when they were at home against St Kilda. Like that. Like, they were good. I didn't think that they were poor and we were just slightly poorer. I thought that they genuinely played well and they outplayed us.
Yep. They were very good. They had the game there as well where they had Geelong a couple of weeks ago there, so that was also very good. So I just don't know. I'm banking that form isn't there. Mm-hmm. But they got some good young kids. Like they got some stars. They'll be fine. But this is just, again, a different weight division for them.
I wish Matt Owens was playing.
Where is Matt always? Injured.
Calf, yeah.
Calf. He's got big calves too.
Yeah. So there's that.
So
look, I will tip Carlton as well.
Phew.
But it definitely is a danger game for sure.
It's a massive danger game. That's fine. I'm okay with living in the danger zone. I'm built for the danger zone. So
you're never not in.
Big round of football, and as we always do, we dissect some of our tips on Sportsbet's feed, what we're liking across the round, and then for a same game on the Friday night. So for the round multi this week, we're going with the Adelaide Crows to beat Hawthorn on Friday night down in Tassie. Then the Lions, I like them at the line, which is 19.5. So I think they'll get that done against the Giants. Toby Green's a bruised bum. So if he's out, I don't know how they score. And I just like the Lions back at home. Then Geelong. Now they have the Bombers. Bombers have no one playing for them. Like, they are young. Yeah, they're fun, but they've got no one playing for them defensively. It's going to be an ask. The line at the moment is 28.5. I've gone that for Geelong to cover. Then Freo, a lot of line bets here. Freo at the line against North, away from home, but playing at home because it's North's home game. So they're at home, but the line there against North Melbourne. Then Port Adelaide against Melbourne. Now, this one was tough. Melbourne were $2. I've gone Port Adelaide there just because I think that at home, it just makes more sense. If it was the MCG, I would have gone Melbourne. It's a home ground thing for me. And then Carlton in the danger game. Very nervous about this, but I like them. I think they won't let me down. I'm going them just head-to-head to beat the Eagles. Then we move to our same gamer for the Friday night primetime clash in Tassie. We'll be freezing down there. Ollie's family's going to be down there as well, so might see them on camera, probably not. We're going to see Jai Newcomb will have 25 or more. He's in our bet. Jordan Dawson leading the Brownlow at the moment, we think. 20 or more touches. Carl Amon's been in some great form, 20 or more. Mitch Hinge, 15 or more. Nick Watson, we think's back. Now, hopefully that magic trick he does is the one where he kicks a goal and not the one where he disappears. Sometimes doing, as you know, Harry Potter is very confusing. Like
Absolutely.
Some spells and casts, the magic, if you say something wrong, comes out.
If you're distracted, you can easily stuff that up.
Can easily disappear. He's been doing that lately. Him for a goal. Darcy Fogarty. Now, one of the big three is going to get off the leash. I think it's going to be Fog. 3 or more goals down there in Tassie. And then Connor McDonald for the Hawks, anytime goal scorer. So those are on Sportsbet's feed. If you haven't been on there already, go onto your Sportsbet app, go to the feed. You can search Gorringe. Ollie, you're also on there. You don't do the footy stuff, but you do some soccer. What are we vibing lately?
Yeah, well, the one at the moment I'm looking forward to is the FIFA Club World Cup.
Yes.
Which is underway, so plenty going on there.
Not to be confused with the FIFA World Cup.
No, big issues with that.
We are trying to.
Seen a few people say that, but no, very much the FIFA Club World Cup.
Okay, great. Well, it's all on Sportsbet's feed. Go and check it out. I'm like, hey, guess what you do tomorrow? Get to unpack what happened tonight with our Thursday night recap, Friday morning. Wow. So you'll either be here pretty up and about. Like, how flat would you be if they did... What's the flatness window of, like, margin that would make you really flat if you were to lose?
I think traditionally speaking, it's either between 1 to 10 points or 50 to 80 points. Do you know what I mean? Like, that would make me flat. Because if we play them twice and they drum us twice...
Yep.
Then there's just like, what do we do about
It's
that?
grim.
And then if we almost win and don't get over the line, like then we've got Collingwood next week. Like we really need this for momentum and vibe.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, if you think you've seen us party, you will to right the wrongs of what we've done against the Bulldogs so far this season. It is
Look out. Look out. We might do it live from Ackland Street.
Yeah.
Live from Luna Park.
Live from Luna Park.
Just because you will be in some serious areas for
Yeah.
this win. This is your grand final.
This is
Wow.
well, we did say
Did
the
you say
other
it's
way.
your grand final?
You know, we've all got a couple left in us. I'm
Yeah.
sort of looking at maybe like a Hawthorn or a North Melbourne, but I'm sorry, or Collingwood next week. But this is our grand final, really.
Well, I think every team's grand final is probably Collingwood at the moment.
That's true. Yeah.
My grand final is round 17 against them.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait for that. Can't wait.
It's going to be a big night.
It's going to be a big night. Anyway, we'll see you back here tomorrow off the short weekend. That's good. A lot of football.
Yes.
Compressed in a short weekend. So come back tomorrow. Let's unpack the Dogs and Saints game. We will see you then.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.